Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a direct comparison between the BOSS GT1000 versus the Fractal FM3. First of all, we will share a demo song hearing the units in action, then we will compare the features and technical characteristics of the units with a very detailed comparison chart, then we will hear more sounds also comparing the units with real tube amps, and finally, I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please subscribe and hit the bell. It's gonna really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. We will now check the differences between the two units among the following parameters: number of amps, cabs and microphone built-in, third-party IRs availability, number of banks, patches and presets, number of effects and effect chain management, MIDI possibilities, audio inputs and outputs, full switches and expression pedals, screen size, looper capabilities, ADA conversion and USB channels, special features available with the two units, current, power, dimension, weight and price. First of all, we have 23 amps and cabs plus 12 standalone cabs and 5 mics built in the GT1000, and you can load 2 mics in one patch. The FM3 offers 277 amps, more than 2000 cab IRs, with the possibility to have 2 cabs at once. Therefore, the FM3 offers way more amps and cabs. Both the units offer the possibility to load third-party IRs, and we have 16 user slots in the GT1000 and 1024 slots in the FM3. Both Fractal and BOSS offer scarce detail about the quality of the IR you can load. There should be 48 kHz for the FM3 and I found no info about the GT1000. It is worth noticing that the so-called AIRD amplifier design philosophy of the BOSS put an emphasis on accurately recreating the interaction between a total amplifier setup, amp plus speaker section. As such, each amp model is recreated with its ideal speaker combination. That's why here I'm writing 23 amps and cabs plus 12 more cabs, because the 23 amps and cabs have been captured together with the AIRD BOSS technology. Nevertheless, the FM3 offers way more user slot for loading third-party IRs. Furthermore, the BOSS has 2 sets of 50 banks, each of 5 patches, with a total amount of 500 patches, 254 for the user and 250 factory preset, while the FM3 offers 512 preset with 8 scenes for each preset, where each scene is a specific combination of parameters of the signal chain. Therefore, the FM3 is the winner here, in my opinion. As regards effects, the BOSS has more than 116 effects distributed in 24 blocks, if I understood it well, and you can have 3 parallel sets of effects at a time, while the FM3 offers more than 250 effects arranged in 57 blocks, with 4 parallel paths of effects and a really rich variety of different effects, like for instance a multiband compressor or a tall box, that are pretty rare effects in this type of units. For both of them you can use many effects simultaneously. I would say that the limit is your imagination and, well, the DSP power. In this case I would give a thumbs up to both of them, as the variety of effects and combination of them is really outstanding for both the units. Both have the same MIDI capabilities, then we have almost the same possibilities as regard inputs and outputs, with the exception of the stereo unbalanced outputs that are available only in the BOSS GT1000. The BOSS has 10 foot switches and a built-in expression pedal, while the FM3 has 3 foot switches. The BOSS has 1 more inputs for external switches or expression pedal and an amp control out, while the FM3 has 2 inputs for external expression pedals. So the BOSS has more connectivity options and foot switches. The screen of the FM3 is far superior than the one of the GT1000, no doubts here. The GT1000 has a 19 seconds looper, while the FM3 has a 120 seconds looper, so the FM3 is better. And in my channel I've also done a video about the GT1000 looper. As regards ADA conversion and USB capability, the BOSS is better, with 32-bit converters at 96 kHz. Unfortunately, I was not able to find a dynamic range of the GT1000, while the FM3 has 114 dB of dynamic range. Furthermore, the BOSS offers a 6-in 6-out USB audio interface, while the FM3 has a 4-in and 4-out USB channels. The BOSS offers also the possibility to record in one USB channel the pure amp sound and in other 2 USB channels the effects, so that you can decide the amount of effects while mixing. As regards special features, I would mention the Bluetooth capabilities of the GT1000, with which you can edit your effect chain with your tablet, and this is pretty handy and nice. While among the FM3 special feature, I would mention the synth available in the FM3, along with the simulation of microphones preamps, which is pretty cool. Here the FM3 offers more special features, but the Bluetooth connectivity of the BOSS GT1000 is pretty useful. As for instance, in live situation, you can play a looper and listen and adjust parameters of the GT1000, listening as you would have been among the public with your tablet. Pretty cool. Then we have the power needs, where the FM3 has an internal PSU and the GT1000 needs 9V at 1200 mA. So I would give a thumbs down to both of them, as it is difficult to use our normal pedal power adapters, and neither of the two offer power out to feed external effects. As regards the dimensions and weight, the FM3 is smaller, even if the weight is pretty similar. And finally the price, which is basically equal in dollars, while the FM3 is more expensive in euro. And as you suggested in the comments of my previous video, I would not put red or green thumbs here, as the price tends to fluctuate and change over the time. So finally, let's count the green and red thumbs. We have 6 green thumbs for the BOSS GT1000 with 7 reds, and 9 green for the FM3 with 4 reds. So the FM3 is slightly better. Obviously this is just a technical comparison, without considering that each feature could have a different importance for you. And so for instance you can consider the BOSS better just because it has the Bluetooth option. But if you just algebraically sum the features, according to my comparison chart, the FM3 is better. Now, final considerations here. First of all, let me say that I love both the units. I mean, I grew up with BOSS effects and I own the BOSS GT1000 since the first day it came out. So I'm very used to it. I also love the FM3 and actually the Axe FX2 was one of the first guitar modeler I owned. So it's very difficult for me to choose one over the other. Let me give you a brief overview of the main, I would say, pros of each unit over the other. The BOSS GT1000, of course, is more ready to use live, as it has more foot switches and a built-in expression pedal. It also has a pretty clever audio interface with a higher number of audio channels, and it allows you to record the effects in different tracks than the amp. And this is pretty handy, as you can decide the amount of effects while mixing. Then it is packed with BOSS effects, and I'm pretty used to BOSS effects, and I like them. And last but not least, it's way more available in the stores. I mean, at the time of this video, to buy an FM3 you have to wait some time. On the other hand, the FM3 has way more amps and cabs, and it is way more tweakable. I mean, you have parameters as the impedance curve of the speaker, you can choose the type of preamp to use with your mic, you can align the phase of the mics if you are using more than one of them. It really has an infinite amount of parameters. And lastly, I would mention the 12x4 matrix with which you can arrange the amp and the effects. That is really intuitive, easy to use, and I think very flexible, while the BOSS interface is a little bit more messy. As regards the sound, well, it's hard for me to address this evaluation just considering the sound. But for sure the FM3 with its much higher tweakability can reach a pretty high level of realism, even if you have to spend time to explore all the parameters and to understand their behaviors. So, at the end, well, I would say that if you want a unit ready to be used live and with BOSS effects, you should go with the BOSS GT1000. If you are an amp nerd and you love to explore your gear and tweak it, and you also would like to be able to use all the amps you can imagine, let's go with FM3. Well, currently I'm more on the nerdy side and I really love to explore amps, to tweak parameters and so on. So I'm a little bit more on the FM3 side. But for sure I would be happy also with the GT1000. But now it's your turn, and I'm really curious to hear from you your opinions. What are the most important selling points for you, and which unit would you buy? The BOSS GT1000 or the FM3? Is the sound difference between these two units a key deciding factor for you? Please let me know your precious and valuable opinion in a comment below. Actually, I'm receiving a lot of comments in this type of videos, and I think that they all can help us to choose the right unit according to our needs. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It would be of a great help. And of course, you won't miss my future video. If you're interested in the IRs I use, you can check out the link in the card above or description below. If you're interested in my music, you can check out a playlist of songs of mine in the description below, where there is also a link to the streaming services distributor that I use, that is DistroKid. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video. Bye bye.